Do you know how many tunnels that they are doing this to and how effective this procedure is?
Hi, Adrian. Thank you so much for having me on, and happy Hanukkah to everybody celebrating.
Absolutely.
Um, I can tell you that the IDF is looking at all kinds of innovative ways to deal with the threat from Hamas after the October 7th massacre, when they came over our borders and beheaded babies, opened fire on babies' cribs, raped women. And I mean, I can't really talk about the level of atrocities on morning TV. What I can tell you is we're going to do everything that we can to eliminate Hamas and to create a better future in Gaza, and obviously to release all of the Israeli hostages being held. There's over 300 miles of tunnels, 300 miles of tunnels that they've built over the last 16 years, deep underneath civilian populations, in an attempt to embed themselves in such a way that if we were to attack them, there would be maximum civilian casualties on both sides. So we've already destroyed hundreds of tunnels, and we'll continue. I can't speak to the specifics of how we'll do that, but I've seen the reports that you saw too.
Okay. Well, we thank you for the update. Obviously, it's best to have it come straight from the source, but also making news. You know, I'm sure there are conflicting opinions. There are so many people calling for a ceasefire, as we mentioned, the UN among them, but there have been members in the assembly who have been very critical of Israel, even before October 7th. Then you have some who are watching saying, far be it for any government, including President Biden, to criticize Israel and how they undertake this conflict with Hamas. But President Biden criticizing Netanyahu again, saying this week that the prime minister has to change, even saying that Israel is bombing civilians. What do you do with these comments? Does Israel take any of these criticisms into consideration?
I mean, I can tell you that we stand shoulder to shoulder with the Biden administration on the main points, which is destroying Hamas, releasing every last hostage, including the Americans that are still being held, including that 11-month-old baby that was 9 months old when he was taken. Oh. And there is a built-in bias against us at the United Nations. This is nothing new. So we thank the Biden administration for vetoing that Security Council decision. And as far as the vote last night, that didn't come as a surprise to us, but we will plow on for the sake of our children and for the sake of the children of Gaza, because we can't tolerate a situation by which Hamas will do what they've said they want to do, which is do October 7th again and again and again.
You know, the Hamas organization also saying that they were threatening to kill the remaining hostages, which at last count was somewhere around 130 people. It's still unimaginable what happened on that day, that fateful day of October 7th. Have there been enough safe spaces for Palestinian civilians to flee to as the IDF continues strikes throughout Gaza?
Adrian, we're taking unprecedented measures in modern warfare to minimize the civilian casualties. At the beginning of the war, as you know, we said we asked the civilians to move from the north to the southwest. We've set up various safer zones there. And now we've taken it up a step. We've built a map of the south, because now we're moving down to the south with very key numbered areas. And we're doing something that no army on earth would do, which is we're telling our enemy where we're coming, when we're coming, and we're asking civilians to move out of the way. So I don't think you'd find an army that does more to protect civilians up against an enemy that is doing its utmost to get maximum civilian casualties on both sides, because it serves as their propaganda tool, for them to get a ceasefire, which is what they want. And what would a ceasefire mean to Israel and the world? A ceasefire would mean Hamas stays in power, and Hamas can continue to do another October 7th whenever it sees fit. We can't allow that. America wouldn't allow it, and we can't allow it.